The old robins are on good form in the background. It must be autumn. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. Now this week the weather has been truly shocking, and for a change I'm gonna swap the salty air of the Bristol Channel for the damp earthy scent of my local river valley. I'm on the Afon Lwyd in Pontypool Park, and when I was a kid this place was my playground. Many happy memories. It's a spate river, which basically means when we get rainfall it rises very quickly, but at the same time it also falls quickly, and I'm pleased to report that for the first time in about 4 months there's a bit of water coming through. Yeah, it's looking nice. Now because it is quite high and because it is a little bit coloured, I'm not going to be fly fishing today. I'm going to be trotting a worm down on a barbless hook, and I'd love to show you some of the beautiful wild brown trout that inhabit this piece of water. They are stunning. If I am lucky enough to catch one, I'll wet my hands, quick show to the camera, and we'll pop him back in. It's now around 8:30 in the morning. I've just walked here. I'm gonna have a steady stroll through the park, fish different pools. Maybe I'll talk about the local history. Not that I'm an expert, but I'll give it a go, and we'll take you from there. To be honest, I've never made a video like this before, so it's all going to be a bit of a learning curve. I'm going to blag it, and I'm going to hope for the best. Anyway, let's see what happens. Right, I'm at the bridge pool, and on the far bank behind me you'll be able to see a rhododendron, and that's where I'll be dropping in the worm. First fish of the day. Well, that's the bridge pool done. Only the one small fish, but I know there's more in there because I could feel them grabbing that worm. Anyway, I'm now on the opposite bank, and where I'm standing used to be an old tramway, and it leads to a tunnel up there in front of me. It was put here to link the Pontypool Tin Works to the park itself, and also to the Osborne Forges. But now, as you can see, it's a beautiful footpath, and believe it or not, this is the brainchild of an ex-colleague of mine who has just retired, Mr. Andrew Neville. Well done, mate. Us locals absolutely love this. Just what the park needed, a nice riverside walk. Now, I'm gonna say this because it needs to be said. Andrew is a top bloke. He's one of life's good people. Like I said, he retired 3 or 4 months ago, and I've worked in that place for almost 30 years. And in that 30 years, I've seen a lot of people come and go. I've seen a lot of people retire. Now, when someone does retire, usually you shake their hand, you wish them all the best, and that's that. You never see them again. But every now and then, someone retires, and you think to yourself, God, I'm really going to miss him, or I'm really going to miss her, because they've had an impact on you as a person. And if we use Andrew as an example, when it came to the workplace, a very, very calm influence. I never ever saw him get stressed. He had a fantastic sense of awareness. He could recognize when someone was stressed. He could recognize when someone was snowed under, and he was always offering to help. We had some fantastic conversations. He's a brilliant storyteller. And we always used to joke around. We always used to say, you should have been a narrator for wildlife documentaries, because he's got that voice that just draws you in. It's pure magnetism, it really is. And the day that he retired, I vowed to keep in touch, and we have kept in touch, and hopefully we'll be meeting up soon for a pint or two. Well, might be more than one or two. We'll have to see how the day pans out. And as for when Andrew came up with ideas like this, or when he came up with projects like this, his priority was to always ensure that the local community benefited, and I think that's quite rare nowadays. But yeah, this is brilliant. Now, back in the day, this spot was my banker spot. I'd always get a trout here without fail. And in the background there, you've got the old weir and sluice gate mechanism, and that was put in place to ensure that there was always a powerful supply of water available to turn the water wheels, and those water wheels powered the nearby forges. Of course, back in those days, before the days of steam, water was really their only source of power. Hence why they often set up shop along waterways like this. There's another one. I'm just below the weir this time. Lovely. He's gone. Well, so far it's been an enjoyable morning. Managed to winkle out a couple of fish. Nothing massive so far, but I couldn't care less. In my lifetime, I've caught thousands of small fish and I've caught thousands of big fish. I don't need to catch anymore. Been there, done it. And these days, my fishing runs much deeper than just fish. As per my conversation down at Go Cliff in my last video. You would have seen that last fish I just caught shot off like a rocket, and that was all thanks to that barbless hook. I only ever use barbless hooks when fishing this river, because the last thing I want to do is to cause any damage to these beautiful wild creatures. This particular piece of the river is controlled by Pontypool Angling Association, and the permitted methods are worm and fly. Spinning is banned, and for a good reason, because those spinners with those treble hooks, they cause far too much damage. If you think of the structure of a trout's mouth, it's very complex, a bit like a mackerel, and if they take those treble hooks deeply, very hard to remove. But unfortunately, I'm seeing more and more people using those spinners on this river, more than ever, much more so than when I was a kid, and that's not good. I would class this as an urban river, and because of that, it does get abused. Not only for the reason we just talked about, but there's a minority of people who are too lazy to take their rubbish to the tip, and then also too lazy to recycle. So they dump it all in there. And yeah, I feel quite embarrassed, to tell the truth. You would have seen in some of the footage that I've captured today quite a bit of rubbish in the background, and that's thanks to them. So on behalf of the people that don't care about the natural world, I apologise. It's not good. But yeah, that's a negative bit out of the way. Like I said, it's been really enjoyable so far. I'm going to have a walk down to behind the sports centre. There's some nice pools down there, some nice runs, and we'll see what else we can get. Maybe you've seen some birds on camera today, or maybe you would have heard some bird sounds. I've seen some cracking sights. I've seen, so far in the past 3 hours, I've seen kingfisher, grey wagtail, dipper, wren, robin, blackbird, goldfinch, chaffinch. I even saw a bullfinch a bit further up. So yeah, the bird life along here is pretty spectacular. Anyway, let's crack on. Ah, that's a better one. He's gone. I just lost a good one then. Yeah, that was a good pound, I know. In all fairness, the one I caught in the pool above wasn't bad. A couple of grey wagtails down there fighting over insects. Ah, well, up there, nice bit of action. Managed to catch a fish in each pool. Well, I landed one and I lost one. I'll take it. The tale of the lost fish. There's been a few of those in my fishing life, I can tell you. Now, as for this particular pool, the river kind of widens out a bit and deeper and slower. And I like to come here with my fly rod and fish a dry fly, you know, like a small black gnat or something, or a marsh brown, and I've done quite well. And hopefully they'll take a liking to the old worm. Let's give it a bash. Yeah, I thought we'd get a fish quite quickly from this pool, but that's how it goes. Now, the trout season on this river closes in around 2 weeks' time. I was hoping to come back to do some fly fishing, but that might have to wait until next March. So for now, this will have to do. Well, that is surprising. Like I said, I thought we'd go in straight away from this pool. I normally do, but every day is different. On to the next one. As most of you will know, I tend to focus on the deeper side of angling, which is why I don't talk about tackle and rigs and all that. But for the purposes of this video, I'll just mention what I'm using today. I've got my 9-foot Abu Garcia spinning rod, a standard spinning reel, a 5-pound line, and tied direct to that 5-pound line is a size 8 wide gate barbless hook, and about 10 inches above the hook there's a couple of split shot. These ones are BBs. Easy as that. And that's why I love this type of fishing. Nice and simple, and you can walk for miles. And every now and then it's nice to rekindle those childhood memories. That's what it's all about for me these days. I can hear my dad talking to me. Ah, what you want to do, right boy? What you want to do? You want to put 2 big lobworms on, man? And he's probably right. I tell you what, when it came to dad and fishing, he was far from orthodox, but he caught a lot of fish in his time. And as for this river, he caught some cracking trout. Now, he wouldn't trot, he'd ledger. He'd have like an ounce ledger weight on, 2 massive lobworms, and he'd just sit there. And then all of a sudden, the old rod tip, bang, 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 and he'd be in. Superb memories. Ah, come on, boy. Move on to the next pool, man. Move on. All right, Dad, I'm going. Oh, give me a chance. Right, I'm now down the bottom end of the park. You would have just seen the park gates, which are actually grade 2 star listed, which in English means they're very, very important. On the way down, I bypassed quite a few swims, so we'll have a wander back upstream, have a few more casts, and I'll take it from there. To tell the absolute truth, I've hardly done any fishing today, mostly filming, trying to get all my shots, etc. But that's just the way it is. But on the way back up now, I'll do more fishing, less filming. That's interesting. At the base of the pool, a couple of rises. They're taking small gnats or something off the surface. Should have brought my fly rod. Found myself a nice comfy seat on this log. Now, here's a story for you, right? In terms of this particular pool, I'm going back probably 30 years ago. I was around 10 years of age. Now, back then, the club used to stock this part of the river. So you had your wild fish, plus you had your stock fish. And every now and then, they'd also put some rainbow trout in here. I caught a rainbow trout from this pool, but it wasn't a stock fish. It was only around, I'm going to say, 6 inches long. Where did that come from? Because rainbow trout, as a rule, don't breed in British rivers. Never ever forget that. You know, when I saw it, like, I was like, it's a rainbow trout, and it's a wild one. Yep, it's a bit of a mystery, but right next to that wall I caught it. Again, on worm. Yeah, a fascinating thought. And my last spot of the day, and I got a lovely wild brown trout. Well, what a lovely end to the day that was. Another beautiful wild brown trout. I've managed to winkle out 4 today. Lost that one behind the sports centre. Quite a few bites in between. Yeah, it's been really enjoyable. All of the fish that I've caught were all returned completely unharmed, and that's always nice to see. In fact, I filmed myself returning some of those because that's something I like to do. For me, fish welfare is really, really important, and if you are going to fish this river, please respect the fish and please respect the area, because like I said earlier on, it does get abused, and that's not a nice thing. I hope you've enjoyed this one, something a bit different. Thanks very much for watching. Until the next one, look after yourselves, take care. All the best.